This is 2114 Lamer. And I just talked to the young lady inside. So Patty Griffin used to own this house, and her mom used to live behind us in that house. But she owned this one property. And then there used to be a guy that lived right here named Mr. Montalvo, and he used to have a gigantic telescope, and he discovered something. I'll have to look him up. I don't remember his first name. And then that's where Dan Gramley used to live. So when we lived here, this is a long time ago. There's people hanging out at the wash. There used to be a fence right here, and then there was two big trees, and they screwed up the plumbing and stuff. There used to be a trellis up there, and it was interesting. So let me tell you this too. This is where I met Jason, right here. Right here is where I met Jason. He lived up the street. I'm sorry, puppy. And I was skateboarding. We used to ride our skateboards down here and do wheelies and see how many cracks could we go. He rode up on a skateboard on his knees because he couldn't stand up yet. And I was able to stand. I'm only a year older than he is anyway. And that's where we met. And there used to be a chain link fence right here. There used to be a chain link fence like right there. And what we used to do is we would stand over here, believe this or not, this is weird. We used to stand over here and pitch baseballs across the street at the fence all day long. Can you imagine being our neighbor and we're doing stuff like that? But there also used to be a gate. That's Dan Waite's house right there. He still owns that. There used to be a gate right here, just like his house, and you couldn't go back there. But this is our sweet jump in front of the house right here. Dan Waite said it's possible he has some 8mm film of us riding bikes right here. But yeah, Dan Gramley moved in right there when we were in 4th grade. Dean Karch lived right up the street. Kim Bubba used to live up there. That was later on. They didn't live here when we first moved in. Joe McConey, I think he actually still lives right there. This used to be called Smitty's house. I don't know his real name. I guess it's Mr. Smith. That's Brian Collins' house, who Jason said he still lives there. He said he still lives there. But this is Dan's house, and it looks the same. And this house actually looks pretty good. It still looks good. But back in the day, these trees messed up the plumbing, and over there was the it was like a clay pipe, like the drain, and it broke, and we had a problem there. But Dan still has his chain link fence, and it looks like he tried to paint it or something. It's all rusted. Fix your fence, Daddy-o. I gotta talk about Joe. So back in the day, you can see see how this grass is higher right here? It made for a sweet jump. But see this lip? This lip wasn't here. So you can come on your bike and hit the grass right there. Well, Joe went inside. This is a famous story, by the way. Everybody on this block knows this story. He took a car ramp and stuck it right here so that he extended this up. And he had, I don't even know what kind of bike he had. It had a shock on it, but his forks were kind of bent forward. He jumped and he went like super far, and his forks kind of bent forward a little bit. And then, so he went to do it again. I swear he landed all the way over here. But as soon as he did, he went pow, and his arm broke. His forks had broke forward. He didn't even cry. He didn't even cry. He's like the same age as we are, so he was really little. He didn't even cry. He just got up. I broke my arm, and he went into the house, and that was it. He just got up. I broke my arm. It was like nothing. And we were amazed at that. So Joe, that's pretty funny. I think he still lives here for some reason. I should go knock on the door. So I'm gonna walk down the street real quick. There's not too much to tell from up the street because Dean Karch moved in later, Kim Bubba moved in later. But I'm gonna walk up by Jason's house. So the people that used to live in this house right here, when we first moved in, it was the guy with no legs. He would ride a skateboard sitting down with his arms, and they looked like 70s hippies. This was also summer of 1978 when we moved in here. And that's also our second house. We actually lived at 550 East Providencia in an apartment first, probably for about a month, maybe 2 months, couldn't have been 2 months, before we moved in here. And those people used to live here. And then Gerardo Zelaya moved in here with his parents. I have some stories to tell about that. That's crazy stuff that I used to get in trouble. I used to get in some big trouble. Well, not because of them, but I got in trouble once because of something I did with them. And this is Jason's mom's house now. And there used to be a wall right here, a block wall. And we'd all used to just sit on the wall. This is where I met Richie when I was older, like 13. Yeah, I was about 13 because we were about to move to the other Lamer house. And we used to sit on the wall right here, and Richie would come off the bike trail and go this way because Richie lives around the block. And we used to yell at him because his last name's Morin, and we'd make fun of him, moron, you know, and yell at him and stuff. He was weird, but he ended up being one of my best friends later in life, which I thought was pretty funny. But we used to play back here. This used to not be here. The water fountain is still there. That's how we used to fill up our water weenies. Jason's dad had that. There used to be a little gate right here. You can see in the ground, you can see the thing. So the block wall, you can even see where the wall used to be. That's why that's that wide. This used to be a wall right here, and then there was a fence all the way around the property. And then we used to play right here. Well, this used to be dirt. It's either this window or that window. There was a big glass door or window here where the eating area was, and this used to be dirt right here against the house. And me and Jason were digging with spoons, playing with our Hot Wheels right here. And his dad came home from work and he parked the car and he got out and it was dark and he tripped and fell, and I was sitting in there eating dinner with Jason's family, and his dad came in and yelled at us, and I felt really bad because his dad was really nice to me. He was always really nice to me. He knew we were having a hard time as a family. He knew we had no money. We had nothing. We had nothing when we moved in there. My mom slept in the living room. We really had nothing. I ain't joking. But the house looks really good. And we used to jump off this roof all the time. There used to be a gate right here. There was a fence that went all the way around the property. There's a gate right here. I could tell so many stories. So, because I was always here, because we didn't have anything. I'd come to play with Jason. No, I didn't come over here to play with his toys, but he had all the toys because he was an only child and his parents had money. His dad had a good job. So I was just always in this house playing. I mean, because we just hung out all the time together. They took me on vacations. I was always eating dinner over here and stuff. I mean, I was just always in this house. And a few years ago when we did one of our visits here, I did come and see his mom and go in there. So one story I got to tell is right after we moved away from this house, they were filming Terminator 2, and right here they had a bunch of the motorcycles parked here and all the movie crew people were here. But we're gonna walk down here for a second. I'll show you some stuff down here. Comes a person with their dog, and it's funny because I wonder who still lives over here and who do I know, like who do I know that's even in this area still. I mean, I know some people that still live in Burbank, but I don't know like who lives in like the houses. So we're gonna walk over here for a second because we used to play over here all the time. And if you come up here, there's a bike trail, and it goes from Washington Elementary, and I don't know where it ends. Like, I can't remember the names of the streets, but it's a quick way to get to Grismer. And a long time ago, this is where we'd come hang out. We used to have jumps right here. There's a couple pictures. I'll see if I can find them and show you there's a picture of me on a jump. We had some barrels with some wood on them, believe it or not, and then we had some other stuff going on, but we would always hang out down here. This is also where I started to smoke cigarettes. I was about 12, and somewhere around 11 or 12 years old. I was already smoking pot by then, but we were over here all playing. You know, we all just hung out right here. It's cool to be in the cul-de-sac and stuff. But there were 2 packs of more cigarettes. They're a brown cigarette, which is kind of weird. And we found 2 packs over here, and Kim Bubba was over here. Sorry, I call you Kim Bubba. Her name is Kim Sherlin. She's a nice young lady. We just named her Bubba, and so anyway, I just still call you Kim Bubba. I'm sorry if you don't like that. That's just your name, and we still love you anyway. But anyway, I was the oldest one, and everyone was like, "Well, John will smoke them." I'm like, "Okay." So we took one out and I started smoking them. Well, I wasn't inhaling because I didn't know that's what you had to do. So then I started inhaling. And I had 2 brand new packs of cigarettes, and that's when I started smoking. And after that, I smoked for a long time, almost 20 years, I guess you'd say. So for Terminator, they had all their Terminator 2, they had all their stuff parked up there. So what you see in the movie, they cut all this together kind of strangely. In real life, what they did, they come through here. I think they bashed through these gates right here. I'm going to show the clips online. I'll probably get in trouble. They go down here into the wash. When Dan Gramley moved in, we used to play down in here. We'd just climb the fence and walk down in here, and you can see, let me go this way a little bit. You can see that hole way over there. It's hard to see. I'm gonna walk over there because I know it's a wider angle. See that hole? That's a drain. This is the freeway right here. Now, when we were living here, that wall was not there, the sound wall. But we used to go in there when Dan Gramley moved in. We were like adventurers, you know. He liked camping and outdoors. He had all his camping equipment. Me and him would crawl in those things and go up underneath the freeway. And what happens is you're under the freeway, but you're under the drain, like the hole. And we would, you know, you can go in there. Well, once you get up in there, it's like a maze. There's different other ways you can go. And if you know that and you can really map out the system, you could actually crawl in there and pretty much figure out anywhere to go, but you're gonna come out a drain on a street somewhere. If you go all the way down here, because we used to play down in here, if you go all the way down there to the end, and then also on some of the sides, there's big tunnels, like big tunnels. We'd go in there, there's like shopping carts in there. There's cars in some of these things. A lot of homeless people live down in there. But we used to go down in here and just go exploring. You know, I just can't picture my kids doing stuff like that. But there's a quick way to get around town, to go down here. It's not the safest thing. That's where the riffraff all used to hang out. Of course, we were riffraff at the time. Puppy! I never knew any of the people in these houses, though. I just knew everybody up on Lamer. I knew some people over on Keystone around the block. We'll probably take the dash cam. Maybe we'll drive around these streets, because I'll show you some of the other people's houses where Richie used to live, and Paul and Gary, and the people that used to live up the street, which looks like, I think that's the house that's actually being redone down there. I can't remember exact houses on some things. Also, Jim and Tim Pointer used to live down there, and I'm not sure exactly which street they lived on, but Sharon, your house looks pretty good. I'm gonna go knock on Brian's door just to see if he's over there. Why not? This is Myers. Mike Kemp lived in one of these to the right. I'm not sure which one. The Paquitas house, I can't tell which one it is. It was a big one. They had a second story put on it. I'm guessing it's the big one up there. The DeWalds lived up here. That's why we were always over here. Their mom used to babysit us. I'm thinking it's the big one with the 2-story behind it. I thought it was more down here, but I'm not sure. There was Liz Toth lived on this street. So there's two of them. Two of them have an extra thing in the back, and I'm not sure which one it is. It's either this one or the other one. One of these is the Paquita's house. I'm not sure which one it is. One's 2501. That I can't see that one. It's one of them too. I don't know which one. That one almost looks like an apartment thing. I don't know. They're both huge though. There was a bunch of people that used to live on this street. The DeWalds, I think it was this brown one on the left. And I think Liz Toth lived in that one with the Spanish arches. I could be wrong. Remember, Dean Karch lived in one of these to the right, and then Kim Bubba also lived here in one of these to the right. I'm not sure exactly which ones. Like, it could have been these ones. I don't know. I really don't remember who lived where. I remember there was a Carrie McPhail lived up here. That was about it. I didn't really play with the people on this end. Puppy! But I'm actually going to turn left. We'll go down Keystone, and then we'll make it around the block. Oh yeah, this corner house right here that I'm passing by on the right, there was a guy that used to live in here. And he had a Space Invaders machine in his garage. And the reason why we met him was because he was outside on a skateboard doing awesome tricks. And he opened up his garage, and we used to go over there and play Space Invaders all the time in his garage. And that was in, like, you know, 1978, 79, so that was still pretty new. Okay, we're on Keystone. I don't remember who lived where. Patty and her sister lived over here, and one of the ones I just passed. There were some other people. One guy's name was Keith. I don't remember which one he lived in. I don't even remember his last name. There were a bunch of people that lived over here. We didn't really play over here much. But I figured I'd go down this way because then I can go by this direction. Shut up. Guerrero's house is right here on the left next to Jason's mom's house. I don't remember half these other people. I remember a lady that used to live right here. This wall to the left used to be just a straight wall. We would ride our bikes here and pick their apricots off their trees while going around the block. Can't remember. There's a bunch of people that used to live in all these houses right here because we all walked to school together. We didn't necessarily play together, but we all walked to school together because it was around the block. So we'll go down here to, this is where Richie's mom used to live. I'll show you in a second. One of these houses was Paul's, and one of these houses was Richie's. I think Richie's, I don't even know which one's which now. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I can't remember whose is whose. For some reason I'm thinking Richie's is this one. It's 16. It's that one with the Prius. Richie used to live in the garage. I'm going to drive back by in a second. Gary Ellert used to live at the end over here on the right, way down at the bottom. Cheryl Palm and her sister lived all the way down at the bottom. I'm going to turn around because I want to show something behind Richie's house for a second. Because I used to walk over there and we'd sneak out the back of his house and go to the other side of town. But I could walk from Grismer and walk up Peyton and cut across this dirt lot and go into his, Richie lived in the garage. And so we would sneak out and then we'd also sneak back in. So you can see, but now there's those big apartments way back there. See those big apartments way back? Can't get the camera on. Those big apartments used to not be there when we were growing up, and Richie lived in that garage right back there. So, and he had a pool table and everything, and I would go, you know, if I was like running away or something, that's where I would go. I'd go hang out with Richie. I'm not going to go down the other street. There was people that lived down there. We're going to go down this way and head toward Grismer. Back in the day, Grismer was like the drug street. So let's go see what it looks like now. Of course, it's Burbank. How bad could it be? It can only get so bad. Yeah, see this wall on the right? We used to ride bikes or skateboards and go around the block, and we used to, on those trees right there, one of them used to be an apricot tree. That's a long time ago, but we used to like just kind of hang out there. We didn't really bother those people. We never like sat on their wall or anything. We would just kind of keep coming by and eat their fruit.